In 1954, Edwin Armstrong walked out the window of his 13th floor New York apartment and fell to his death. He was broke, he was exhausted, he thought he had failed. He hadn't. You're listening to his invention right now. Edwin Howard Armstrong was already a legend by the 1930s. He'd invented the technology inside every radio receiver ever made. He was rich, respected, and close friends with David Sarnoff, the most powerful man in America broadcasting, head of RCA. But Armstrong was obsessed with a problem. AM radio was plagued by static. Lightning, car engines, power lines, anything electrical corrupted the signal. Engineers have been trying to fix this problem for decades. Armstrong's solution was completely different. Instead of fighting the interference, he changed what the radio was doing entirely. AM encodes sound by changing the strength of the wave. Armstrong encoded it by changing the frequency instead. Static only affects strength, so with FM, it could simply be ignored. In 1934, he demonstrated it at the Empire State Building. The engineers in the room said it sounded like the band was standing right with them. Sarnoff wasn't impressed. He was threatened. RCA had everything invested in AM. Stations, transmitters, millions of receivers already in people's homes. FM didn't compete with AM. It made AM obsolete. And Sarnoff was also betting the company's future on television, which would need that same spectrum space. So RCA buried it. They evicted Armstrong from the Empire State Building. They lobbied the FCC, and in 1945 they succeeded. The FCC moved FM to an entirely different part of the spectrum. Every FM transmitter and every FM receiver ever built was instantly worthless. Armstrong had to start over with his own money. He spent the next decade fighting RCA in court. They stalled, they delayed, they buried him in legal proceedings. His fortune was gone. His marriage collapsed. He predicted they would stall until he was dead or broke. On the 31st of January, 1954, he was both. After Armstrong died, his widow, Marion, picked up the fight. She pursued every company that had used FM without paying royalties. Eventually, she won. RCA settled. Every major manufacturer settled. The patents were vindicated. FM went on to take over the entire world. By the 1970s, it had overtaken AM. Today, it's in every car, every phone, every country on Earth. Armstrong held 42 patents. He invented the technology inside every radio receiver ever made, and the industry he built drove him to his death. Here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. FM is now dying the same death it gave AM. Norway became the first country in the world to switch off FM entirely, completing the process in 2017, and Switzerland is following short behind. Younger listeners are leaving. Advertisers are following. Countries are already switching FM off. The circle keeps going. Every generation buries the last. In 20 years' time, you might be stuck listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, listening to all your favorite commercials. Look, before we get to that point, I just recommend you just hit the subscribe button and call it a day. Anyway, if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you.